السادة الحضور
Ladies and gentlemen, we will start after a couple of minutes. Please be seated and mute your phones. Thank you so much for your understanding.
السادة الحضور، يرجى التفضل بالجلوس استعدادا لبدء الفعالية. شكرا لتفهمكم.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. After the short break that we had, thank you, in the Saudi Statistic Forum first edition, and we are looking forward to sign a number of memorandum of understanding and agreements between the Saudi Statistic Authority and a number of other statistics center. We would like to introduce Dr. Saad, His Excellency Dr. Dosari, and Saad Abdullah Al Sheikh, the Vice President, to join us to sign the memorandum of understanding and the agreements, collaboration agreements. The first collaboration agreements between the General Authority for Statistics and the Development Bank and the Social Development Bank. I would like to Mr. Abrigrishi to come on stage to sign these cooperation agreements. Congratulations. the second cooperation agreement between the General Authority for Statistics and Riyadh Chamber. Would like to call on stage Engineer Abdullah bin Abdurrahman Al Abaikan, the chairman of the Riyadh Chamber and the board of the Riyadh Chamber, come to join us to sign the cooperation agreement. Congratulations. The third cooperation agreement, and that combine the General Authority for Statistics and the Roshan groups. Would like to call on stage the strategic manager, Mr. Walid Bawakid, to sign this cooperation agreement, and of course is going to be signed from the General Authority for Statistics, Mr. Rashid, the Vice President of the Statistics Operations. Thank you so much, sincerely, Dr. Fahad Al-Dosari, the chairman, the general president of the General Authority for Statistics. Thank you so much for your richness time to sign, and thank you so much for this cooperation agreement that enhance collaboration between all entities. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just a few minutes far away from the fifth sessions under the title, which is the integration between statistical institutions and data beneficiaries. Stay tuned. Dun, 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 dun. أنا امبارح Ladies and gentlemen, the fifth panel discussions that's going to discuss integration between statistical institutions and data beneficiaries. That is also we are going to conclude the agenda for this forum. Would like to introduce the panel speakers, Dr. Khalifa Al-Barwani, the CEO of the Information Technology and Center, Center for in Oman, Dr. Zahra Soljuk in Sesrek, Dr. Ala Al-Awad, the chairman and the manager of the Statistical Center in Palestine, and Dr. Al-Wahibi or Intisar Al-Wahibi, the chairman and the manager in the Statistics Center in Gulf countries, and the moderator of this session, Dr. Abdullah Athanian. I wish you to gain and richness and fruitful information from and insights from these sessions. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Your Excellencies, Your Royal Highness. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and blessings be upon you. I'm Abdullah Athnian, the manager of the General Department for the Spatial Department and the General Authority for Statistics. And of course, we'd like to appreciate and thank the speakers and the of among us in these panel discussions, and we would like to discuss the integration between statistical institution and data beneficiaries. We are looking forward to open the discussions to come out of a great insightful that's going to enhance our collaboration between all the statistical centers and the beneficiaries as well, since we're Your Excellencies, you are going to talk and discuss among us. And also we have among Dr. Khalifa Al-Bawrani, the CEO of the Statistical Center in Sultanate Oman, and Dr. Zahra Saljuk, the General Manager in CESREC Center, Dr. Rula Awad, and Aula Awad, the manager of the Central Statistics Center in Palestine, and Dr. Intisar Al-Wahibi, the general manager in the statistical in Gulf. We would like to start about the data beneficiaries, and we start asking Your Excellency Dr. Khalifa Al-Barwani. No doubt that building bridges for transparency between the beneficiaries and the centers, statistical centers, considered as a main role. From your wide experience, could you please elaborate more on these concerns? Peace and blessings be upon you in the name of God, the greatest and the most compassionate. Naturally, I would like to expand my appreciation and gratitude to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for its hospitality, and as well I would like to expand my appreciation among the General Authority for Statistics, and thank you so much for your invitations. I think today the bridges among corporations between statistical institutions has been a necessity, is become a necessity. However, with the technological development that we have, with the AI that we have now, it's better for all the statistical centers to provide a proper work, and since we have a huge amount of data. However, of course, the statistics centers and the official statistical centers is very crucial and important for all countries. And when you are depending on the data that's generated by the AI or any social medias, we, of course, no doubt you cannot depend on it totally. So we need to aware of that, and we need to raise the transparency and the credibility in order to assure ourselves. And when I'm talking about also to leave our stamp finger, we need to raise the credibility. Why? As long as we are able to produce information that help us to take a better decisions to solve our daily crisis, daily problems, issues on a long term or on a short term, I think those very important, and that will build on 7 main pillars. First of all, we need to have official department, and that issues a certain data. We need a cooperation and support from the policies based on the evidence that we have, especially for those who have taken decisions. We are not taking also decision makers. It's not just the government or the leaders. It is also about the private sectors or the national community. So we need also to make sure about the response against all the challenges that we are going to face today. As long as you minimize the crisis, and as long as you are broken these type of bridges, you will lose some of your beneficiaries. And what's the importance of the strategy, or how to apply, how to achieve our objectives nationally and internationally? Because most of the countries, they have this importance and they are need to build with them, and that will help us to enhance the innovations and that using development technology. Today, technology, it's able to provide and generate data, but how are we going to transfer this generated data into knowledge? We need to use it. And of course, we need to comprehensive this data in order to use it properly in our institutions, in our local institutions, and as well our academic institutions. So today, our needs to raise the credibility among all the beneficiaries, among all the parties, it is very important and crucial today. Thank you so much, Dr. Khalifa. I would like to expand our discussion with Dr. Zahra Seljouk. Dr. Zahra, Dr. Khalifa, see, we have 7 pillars in order to enhance the credibility between the beneficiaries and also the statistics center. How do you see that from your point of view and from your wide experience?
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, first of all, it is my great honor to join you here in the Saudi Statistical Forum, and I would like to express my sincere appreciation to our brother, Dr. Fahad, and also his amazing team at the General Authority for Statistics for this amazing organization, and I hope that this will continue. This will be a tradition for the Saudi Statistics Forum in the upcoming years. And actually, today's session lies at the heart of the modern statistical development. So, how to deepen the statistical communities and how to interact with the relationship between statistical institutions and also the data users. Actually, this is more than a technical issue. It also involves some kind of communication and also political issues inside it. So, as SESRIC, as a subsidiary organ of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, we have long believed, and I believe that all of the colleagues here also believe that statistics must serve the people, and this is the reason that we are here, by informing policymakers, by enabling accountability, and by supporting inclusive development. And as the main statistical arm of the OIC, Organization of Islamic Cooperation, our mission is to empower the national statistical offices of our Organization of Islamic Cooperation and the national statistical systems in our member countries. In my experience, actually, the communication between the statistical offices and data users begin with 3 pillars, and these are transparency, engagement, and also partnership. And we believe that improving communication and building trust between the national statistical institutions and data users require a multi-dimensional approach because we believe that the trust is built over time and it can be eroded very easily. So as the statistical institutions, we need to work hard to build trust for the data users. And this trust can be built in a very different way, in a different approaches. First of all, we should embed some ethical standards on all of our phases of professional procedures. And also, we should publish data revision policies. And also, we need to communicate any uncertainty whenever it arises. So I believe that first and foremost, the transparency is the key for establishing a direct communication between the data users and the institutions. And statistical agencies in this regard must be transparent about their methodologies, data sources, any limitations they face, and also quality assurance policies. Secondly, I believe that for this effective communication and engagement is very important. Yesterday night we were speaking about this with Dr. Ella. Actually, effective communication is important for every phase of life. So as human beings, we need direct communication. And effective communication is not just about disseminating data, but also fostering a culture of dialogue between the data users and also data producers. So this involves presenting data in a more user-friendly formats, and also in addition using storytelling with data, so that it will inspire the end users about the importance of data. And also we should leverage the multiple secure channels, like about websites, all of the social media channels, and also other web news, so that the data users can have a sense of ownership, so that they understand that they need data. If they need data, they will demand data, they will try to understand what the data is saying to them. Thirdly, I believe that building partnerships are very important among the stakeholders, except from the public sector, except from the governmental institutions. I think we should build strong relationship between academia, researchers, private sector, universities, and also civil society. And the most important thing is the media, I think, because the miscommunication and misinformation about data is generally caused by the not effective use of data by the media. So we should give so much importance to improve our cooperation and relation with the media professionals. And I believe that this collaborative approach should extend to include data literacy initiatives and empowering users to better understand and utilize statistical information. So I believe these are the key issues for effective communication between the users and also the statistical institutions.
Thank you so much, Dr. Zahra, for your insights. You concentrate on the importance of the cooperation and building relationships between. Now, I would like to move Dr. Aula. From your wide experience in the Palestinian statistical centers or the German of the programs in the UN, I would like to shed the light on the importance of the statistical and the numbers of this sector. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. It was such a pleasure to be here among you, and thank you so much for the invitation. It is such a pleasure to be in the Saudi Statistics Forum first edition, and of course I would like to seize the moment and congratulate you to hosting the International Forum for Data, and of course looking forward to see you next year in the International Data Forum. So, and since today we are talking about statistics and we are shedding the light on statistics, and of course it's very important in any country. However, it is not good alone in order to achieve all the different objectives we have. We are living in a high accelerating speed of world, especially we are allow us as a statistics center to be aligned with this development phase, with accelerating of this development, with the accelerating of all the development technology that we are living. So, and from these concerns, the statistics is very crucial to work on, apply and implement the methodologies that we were conduct. But of course, it was taking a lot of time. Today we have a different technologies. We could use AI that's going to save much time than before, and of course we need to be aware what's the side of benefits that we needed, and whether if it was that also we were doing or only collecting data annually or based on papers. Today we have multiple tools that we are working, and we use it in order to provide data and provide the outcome that we need. And also when we are working at different schemas as well. So when we have this collaboration between entities, that of course is going to enhance that collaboration and enhance the statistics sector. Thank you so much, Dr. Ola. Of course, the importance of documentation and the cognitive, also integrated cooperation is very important. I would like to move to Mr. Intisar. What's about the digital transformation? For how far away we need the channels to enhance the rapid cooperation between the statistics sectors and the data beneficiaries? And what's the criteria that we need to provide for for those channels in order to achieve their objectives? Thank you so much. Initially, I would like to extend my appreciation to the General Saudi Authorities for Statistics and Dr. Fahad Ad-Dosari especially, and I would like to congratulate them for the successful forum for its first edition. Of course, we are living in the world of information, and there is a plenty of data that we have, whether it is in the statistics centers or beyond the statistics center, is crucial. But digital transformation is crucial, and that's what we need to be integrated and between all the entities and the data beneficiaries. And when we talk about the digital information revolutionary, of course, and this revolution has made something new. Of course, now we couldn't work alone, or we have to provide and to conduct integrated framework between all the entities, and that of course is going to help all the data beneficiaries. And we are talking about a great sperm of and plenty of data that we have. And even like for the if you want to talk about the media centers, of course they need data when they have meetings, interviews or conferences. So, and of course today maybe I will concentrate more on the public sectors and the governments and the private sector as well. Of course, in terms of data beneficiaries, I will start in governments. I was in a planning department in the government, and I know what's the needs of statistics, what their needs for statistics, also devices or planning. Of course, governments, if they want to prioritize their agenda, they need to have a data and statistics. Even if they want to do like they have management or management crisis management, they need data. If they want to do anything, or that's why it's the integration is very important. And information, it is not only for the management the resources, but also to management the expectations of the citizens of the society, the citizens, and also the whole nation. So that's why we have other tools to let the citizens provide their opinions, share their emotion state, and of course, so we have today a whole and very plenty of data in private sectors. So when we link the private sectors with the government, with the public, is very great solutions. A lot of countries has been done that, such as Sweden, Singapore, and the US, New Zealand. Those countries have a successful stories when they combine the private sectors, of course. So the private sectors is very important. It provide data, but of course, for example, we are in the statistics centers how to provide the reports, how to analyze those data, how to use it properly based on, for example, on a certain, for example, industries. So we need them. And today, when we are concentrate on the relationship, it's between the producers and the users. But however, the relationship is not like this. We have a information developer, and those are considered the more powerful party, and they have more authority since they are in a side of innovation. And when we provide that, when we have this ability, and of course, whether in statistics centers or statistics framework or beyond, we will have a great integration between the beneficiaries, between the developer, and between the users as well, and the providers. So if you want to talk about a certain standards, as Mr. Khalifa, he mentioned that credibility, transparency is very crucial with if it was in the security protocol and others, especially when we are talking about cooperation that has a sustainable view and sustainable pathway. For example, if you want any report for me, you are not going to concentrate only for this report or for this service. We are talking on a long-term basis. We are talking together. So we need to keep and save this long-term discourse between entities. Investing in digital transformation is very important, and I will assert on that, whether it is AI or other tools or other also technologies. Those make us working rapidly, and also will give us a great quality. Thank you so much, Dara. It's very important to invest in the digital transformation, and it's very crucial to enhance collaboration, of course. I would like to move to Dr. Khalifa Al-Barwani. I will talk to you about the second phase of our panel discussions, that will shed the lights on the alignment and the mechanism of the statistics and statistical reviews. What's the best areas to activate the feedback channels, especially for the data beneficiaries? In the attacker today, I think and I believe that we have achieved a great stage, and we are so proud of this stage that we have reached. They give us a great ideas how to activate this part, and of course communication today, it is the easiest way today be. It is each individual considered as a TV. Of course, he might film whenever he wants. He might take us shots. He might say his opinion. And of course, if you want to know about the society, if you want to talk about, for example, the water sector, or so in the past, it was taking years to reach any information. But today we have a great technology. We have tools. We have great methods to reach that, to collect data. And I will share with you my personal experience. Today in Sultanate Oman, we shape a channels which is, we call it the knowledge channels and the screen of knowledge. We divide it into different categories and different levels. Today in Oman, we have a certain screen with His Majesty the President. We talked with him 24/7. We collaborate and we share screen. We share together a live call, and of course in his department, and His Majesty has a great wide screen. He might see us as well. So we have this criteria allow us to communicate properly with him. Also, on the other part, we have established a certain center for collecting feedbacks. Today, the feedback centers is very crucial when you want to reach knowledge. Of course, all the statistics centers must not stop just to provide authentic data. Numbers is, of course, numbers is important, but when you add cognitive side, it is the ultimate stage. Sometimes data is not going to give you a proper and honest feedback and accurate data. So sometimes the countries spend a lot of thousands, but of course when they see the feedback, you're gonna see the citizens need different needs, and they are suffering from other parts, and they need something from the government, and the government does not pay any attention to it. So when we have this mechanism today, when we have applied, when we give our ears to our citizens and to all the people, we listen to their cognitive side and we activate our emotional intelligence. That is very important, and that's raise the feedback that we have and the statistics, and it's way better from only numbers and statistics. Of course, sometimes the cognitive side, it is not reality, but however, I will assert on that it is reality, and we need to hear from them. We need to hear their cognitive sides. And of course, if you did not receive any cognitive or a positive feedback, you have just you failed in some part. So we need to be honest in that. Those who are some tools, we need to build on them. We need to take them under a serious consideration. So statistics centers and the statistic devices is not going to stop there, but however is going to be transferred into statistics and information centers, and they have to give a part and an ear for the cognitive, collecting the feedback on the cognitive side, and to provide numbers and statistics. And also I would share another example with you. It is, for example, somebody suffers from a disease, from a certain disease, and he knows that doctors has a great amount of knowledge, and he needs to go to the doctor to check up or to provide a diagnosis. But sometimes, of course, the doctor is not going to know what's the disease that he was suffering from unless he provide some of the signs. He's going to tell them that I have fever, I have a throat, my throat is hurting me. So this is a crucial. So you have to listen to the other party in order to know what they are going through and what they are suffering from. So and then that is apply in the statistics. We have developed our department, and today we have this screen, and of course it is everything annually, and all our systems we could reach them from from our centers, and that will help us to take better decisions. Today I believe that we have a golden opportunity to use the AI why the statistical device is going to be as a Siri device or as a Siri, for example, product. You might talk to it and directly, and it's going to provide you a great information. And then you will start to provide a research based on the information that you have received from the Siri or from the AI. I think this is very beneficial way. And of course, I think it is going to be a less cost than the before. So I would like to expand with Dr. Zahra. Dr. Zahra, Your Excellency, since you work in CESREC and also you were in the government, could you please tell us more about the feedback and how it helps to enhance the statistics devices, and what's the mechanism to develop this corporation?
Excuse me, if you please bring the mic.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. As you know, like actually getting feedback is not just important for statistical institutions or statistical community. I think getting proper feedback is especially important for all of us in daily life as well. So user feedback is also indispensable for encouraging the use of statistical data and also for the continuous improvement of the national statistical systems in all of our countries. And beyond data gaps, feedback also helps us capture the limitations that we are facing in the statistical institutions, and also it gives us the sense of the emerging needs of the data users. So it helps statistical agencies not only to understand the data gaps, to improve the quality, and to tailor their products according to the emerging needs of the data beneficiaries. I believe that there are some key mechanisms for improving user feedback and to integrate user feedback in our statistical systems. One of them is establishing formal communication channels, like about surveys, user forms, online platforms to get the feedback from the data beneficiaries. Also, we should use the informal or indirect channels like the social media platforms and also analytics from statistical websites. Even the clicks of the websites gives you some information about which parts of the data are getting more demanded from the data users, although neglected for most of the time. And I think engaging community events, community dialogue events with the major stakeholders is very important. So I think most of the institutions are conducting regularly user satisfaction surveys, but rather than doing this in addition to conducting these user satisfaction surveys, we should also promote a culture of continuous learning and responsiveness, showing that users can voice their insights into the statistical systems. For this reason, we should organize periodical workshops and seminars to solicit their feedback about the statistical systems and statistical data that we are producing. Sometimes it is beneficial also to integrate them to do some kind of workshop as a kind of co-organizers of our events. So in line with this, we believe as CESREC, the capacity building, statistical capacity building initiatives are very highly important, and together with national, regional, and international organizations, we are organizing statistical capacity building programs for the benefit of our member countries, and believing in the importance of user feedback. We also organize many events regarding the data dissemination, data communication, and data presentation, and how to get the user feedback from the data beneficiaries. So in today's complex data ecosystems, where now artificial intelligence is one of the key stakeholders actually, I believe that we should have we should build an inclusive system to bridge all of the issues, all of the stakeholders together, and to have feedback from the policymakers, institutions, researchers, and media. For this reason, we believe that this communication culture is very important for getting the proper user feedback from all of the stakeholders benefiting from the data that we are producing.
شكرا لكم. الحقيقة اليوم حديث رائع عن أهمية الاستفادة من الذكاء الاصطناعي وأيضا
We talked about the importance of the AI and how to combine it, of course, to take advantage of, to also work with a different type of data. So I would like to move Dr. Aulay. Your Excellency, what's the challenges that we face in order to suffice the data beneficiaries, and how also to collaborate to enhance the data, and of course data generating, and what's the impact of that? Thank you so much. I think we have echo in the sound, so could you please repeat your questions, because I heard some echo. What's the challenges that face by all the statistics centers, and what's how to integrate the citizens and the social community in order to provide and to organize the data quality as well. So one of the main challenges that we have, which is of course to all the services and the products meets the needs of the users and the data beneficiaries as well. We need to, of course, provide what their needs and combine them with the programs, and of course the communication between all the devices, between all the statistics centers and the users and producers. So we need to highlight those the needs, and that's, of course, we have to follow a certain criteria. We need to follow a strategic plan for the statistic devices that's going to provide this part of products, and the other on the other part we have a challenges that in terms of the cooperation and communication with the data beneficiaries. So for example, it is not only for using data or to provide what they need, but also the statistics centers, they are not focused on just generating data, but of course how to use this data properly to make decisions better, how to provide, how to utilize those numbers and those indicators to make a difference, to leave an impact, of course, in our societies. Of course, this is at least at itself considered as a huge challenge, but of course we need to unify our language between the producers, beneficiaries, and between the statistics devices, and of course all the parties that we mentioned, in order to achieve integrated process. Since I have a wide experience as the manager of statistics center in Palestine, I see that the crucial challenge how to unify this language, how to speak the same language that we speak every day, or we speak together. We need to listen from them, and we need to be proactive. So if we have as statistics devices and centers, we need to be proactive. If, of course, any decision maker might to communicate with the statistics centers in order to know how we will serve them. So that is very good if you give us a lot of insights from your side. We need to understand what's the needs, what's the priorities, and what's the how to supply you. And of course, in the other hand, we have a lot of tools and methods to communicate. Part of these tools, which is the best or the main practices, we might also establish a consultant council under a manager who's going to be as a decision makers. We have in Palestinians this council that consists of academies, of VIPs and ministries, and also from a different of influencers in the private sectors. And of course, the chairman of this council is going to be the vice and the prime minister. So that's going to help you to provide a integrations framework, and of course going to build and develop the annual outcome, and that will help us to select our priorities on a local level or international level. As also, if we have to activate the consultant sectors, is very important, especially for some dilemmas, for some problems or challenges that we use that it has a relationship with the private sectors, since we also mentioned the health sector, social sectors, and other. Also, the last but not least, don't forget that part of the beneficiaries are from different generations. We have students, we have also some other parts, for example, academies, professors, students of the universities. So they have a methodology to provide the data for the users. So of course it's not going to be the same data, but when you activate all the part to listen to see the feedback, that is going to give you answers for all the questions, and of course you will use this data properly. And of course we have a multiple channels, and it's very beautiful in our sector in statistics that it is not necessary to speed up our process or our work. And of course we could also collaborate with statistics centers from international phases, and of course we need, for example, we can collaborate with the statistics centers from different countries, and I listened that in the first panel discussion. So this is one of the most important method and usage of the beneficiaries. So we have a lot of sides, and of course we have some part of the practices. We are not have just a council under the manager for under the chairman of the prime minister, but of course we have a council especially for the schools, and that will listen to the students under 18 years old. So that is very crucial to give them a great ear and to listen to them, to listen to those youth. They are still youth, and of course I think since I am there in these sectors, it's very crucial to establish this type of councils, and that will give us a great feedback, a great data, whether it is on social media, and of course we will know more about their needs. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We would like to move to Your Excellency Dr. Intisar. And could you please tell us about the importance of the feedback using the data and statistics, and what's the initiative that you have provided in order to unify the standards that you are using now? Thank you so much.
We are talking about the reducing the gaps. Also, we take advantage from the feedback to know the priorities of all the stakeholders in relation to each need of every stakeholder. This will enhance the sufficiency of the statistics. Also, it will grant us the optimized value. Also, the feedback is used during the statistics. We really rely on the feedback on a continuous way, and we have KPIs related to the Gulf countries, and we always seek the support of this feedback during the process of applying the KPIs, and we ask the concerned parties to keep providing the feedback to us. The feedback grant us the transformation from building or generating data to problem solvers. This is what we work on by providing solutions to the private sector, by providing data that allows to problem solve. As for the Gulf Statistics Center and the second part of the question, as we launched as a center, our aim is to enhance the image of the unified Gulf countries. So we always support these decision makers and the statistics parties. That's why we work nationally and internationally. We also have a strategy of 4 aspects: quality of the data, also engagement of the data users, also meeting their needs, transparency and openness, and also, of course, the feedback, which is one of the main aspects. And also, as for the feedback, we have a few mechanisms in all the platforms and all our websites. We also have surveys and workshops specially designed for the stakeholders and also to get their insights. We had a workshop in the General Gulf Authority, and we had their feedback on their annual data, and it supports our work and quality of work directly. Also, it affects our and it helps us to meet the users' needs.
ننتقل الآن إلى المحور الثالث حول مستقبل العلاقة بين المؤسسات
Now we are moving to Mr. Khalifa Al-Marwani. Could you please explain the future of the statistics centers and the data users, and how can we develop these relationships from your point of view? I think that the statistics works, the future of the statistic work and the data users, this relationship is dissolving with time because of the technical development that's currently taking place. we might reach a day that even these statistics machines might dissolve as we see it in a physical form, as we see it. You're going to see it integrated in an integrated way that you might not be able to differentiate between the service provider and the service user. And we see this in many services provided today. We deal today with banks and shops and commercial shops. You don't see the bank, you don't see the shop, and you get the service fully while you're in your place. And the world, the more the world is depending on, in our countries, to transform digitally and smartly, in a smart way, we are going to reduce this gap. And I think this is the ultimate objective. Our goal is not just to collect data or just publish data. Our goal is to use this data and optimize it in order to give the decision makers what they need. What is the best specialty for one of our kids or one of our children to study? This is how we tell our kids, like, for example, don't go study this specialty because it's not going to serve you in a certain profession. As we see now, it seems that the future with the digital transformation is going to reduce gradually. Even the machines and the people who are working in this statistical centers. For example, we used to have statistics in Oman, for example, by 60 people, but then it's for 50 people. But today, we just do it for like 2 people with 0 cost. Today we can use the artificial intelligence in generating data, and we don't need anything else. I think this is the next step. You can have a role with the user and the decision maker without having him feel or sense that there is a service provider. As you know, or for example, we don't see how a certain restaurant cooks the meal. We just receive the meal ready. And I think this is very close. I think we are going to reach 2030 before 2030. And the speed is really taking place. This is a very promising vision. Thank you, Doctor. And I hope that we reach this faster than we think. As for Her Excellency, Dr. Zahra, I would like to ask you, how does the statistic centers use or enhance the data in the decision makers and decision making, and how can we develop the relationship between the statistic centers and the other sectors?
Actually, this is a very important question. It is the core of our existence, I guess. But promoting a culture of data-driven decision-making, and also to promote cooperation between the different stakeholders requires concerted efforts. So between all of the users and all of the stakeholders about the value of statistics. I think what is missing today is that we use statistics a lot, we use data a lot, but we don't understand the real value of information, the real value of statistics. So I don't want to, I want to distinguish this. Actually, we are using too much information, but we don't understand the value of real statistics. So we should make the differentiation between what is information and what is statistics, and we need to advocate the value of statistics to the different stakeholders. It is not just the people. Also, we need to convince the other ministries about the value of statistics produced by the national statistical institutions. I believe that all of the national statistical institutions believe that it is sometimes very hard to convince other ministries about the value of statistics that are produced by the national statistical offices. And this also includes advocating for evidence-based policymaking, where there is need for the political and strategic decisions, and to enhance the credibility and to build public confidence over the statistical products. I believe that all of the statistical institutions play definitely a key role in this goal, towards this, reaching this goal. What we can do is to conduct outreach and advocacy projects for this, improving the relationship and making them believe in the products that we are producing, to highlight the importance of statistics for decision-making policies, and also for future planning and some kind of research. Another thing that I believe that we need to promote is that we should exert our all efforts to include the importance of statistics to the national educational curriculums. So I believe that most of the countries don't have any information or key information in their national educational curricula. So beginning from the primary school, I think all of the national statistical institutions should keep their efforts to promote the value of statistics while the people are, they have this information from the childhood, the importance of to distinguish what is the real information and what is not. Because in the artificial intelligence age, I think this is more important than before. So that we should teach, we should have the responsibility to teach the young generation to differentiate the misinformation from the real information. And this can be done only if we can have the advantage of inserting or designing our educational curricula so that this information, the value of statistics, are inherent into the curriculum of the educational institutes. Or other than that, we can develop educational resources and training programs for the benefit of all of our communities, not just for children or young people, but also for other data users. And we need to foster collaboration between the statistical producers and also data users, so that to ensure that the data are relevant for them, accessible for them, and then so that it will benefit for their daily life as well. For this reason, I believe that as statistical institutions, we are also trying to do this as CESRIC. We need to concentrate more on storytelling. You know that there is a very famous philosopher, now it's very famous in all over the world. He said that now we are in the age of not just storytelling, but also story selling. So we should also focus on what our data are telling, and we should promote, we should sell this data. Because if we are not selling our own data, some of the media or some people don't understand the data, are miscommunicating data in a way that we don't want to do it. So it is our responsibility not just telling the stories about our information, but also to promote them, to advocate them, and also to give information what is underlying them. So I think we should also give information about the metadata that we are providing. These are the key issues that I believe for promoting a culture of the value of statistics that we believe. And also according to our religion, we know that we also have information, but the right information, correct information is the key in our religion, so that we can reach to hikmah. So it is. So I believe as statistics community, we have this ultimate role of keeping the correct information for the end users, for the benefit of end users, so that they don't have miscommunicated data with them. And for this reason, I know that artificial intelligence has some pros and cons. Although it has a lot of advantages, it also has some negative effects that we need to protect our young generation as well. So we should leverage technology, but we should be aware of the negative effects of technology for the future of our young generation. So we should protect them as well from the negative sides of the technologies. And through CESRIC, we are also cooperating with all of the national, regional, and international cooperation, and we are promoting the South-South collaboration, and also we have an OIC 2025 program of action for the benefit of our member countries, and through the statistical commissions that we are holding every year, we are trying to communicate a culture of statistics among our countries. So I believe that data is very important, and value of data, value of statistics is very important for the future of our communities. So, and this kind of initiatives is very important for realizing this. Thank you very much.
شكرا دكتورة زهراء، إجابة يعني
This is I would like to talk about developing the relationship between the data users and the statistics centers. With the importance of having a strategic plan for the statistic work and having a communication strategic plan with the statistic matrix, whether data users or data producers, and the international part is also a part of this form. The communication plan is not just to provide the data. It has a crucial role in meeting the needs and using the data and providing the data, and the relationship between all the stakeholders, also using the possible tools by using the best practices, different from country to country. It depends on the culture and the reality in each country. But I just want to save time, and I would like to back up the point mentioned that every statistic center has to have, in addition to the strategic plan, there has to be a communication plan. This is briefly going to cover all the integration relationships between our centers and the international institutions. And the international institutions help us a great way as we speak, that today we have some international institutions requesting the data, but they have also a coordination role, as we have a special committee in the United Nations that just have to coordinate between the needs. As we know, there are challenges facing each institution, and sometimes they throw a big burden on the statistic centers. So we urge having coordination of the effort and unifying the efforts in order to meet their needs. Also, there's another point another essential role about providing us with the best practices and coordinating with all the concerned parties and all the different sectors. There's another side, the importance of evaluation. For me, as a statistical center, when I have an international assessment or from a nation institution, this also gives me the power in this side of actually it provides us power nationally and internationally, especially that we're talking about the professional institutions. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Ms. Intisar, what do you think is the future between the statistic institutions and the beneficiaries? Let's have a title. It's going to be a cooperative method between them, built on trust and including knowing that the quality of data cannot be accomplished until we have a great relationship institutionally, with parties that have data, granting more trust and more value in order to follow the performance. The future holds a great deal of value for both providers and beneficiaries and data users, as mentioned by earlier by my colleagues about the importance of technologies and more trust. I'd like to conclude here that the having a good quality, high quality data is not enough. We really need to have a great relationship with the data users, and this will transform knowledge into smart decisions, and then we would have a tangible effort and tangible effect. I would like to thank everyone, Your Excellencies, and my dear guests, distinguished guests. And I would like to conclude this session with your recommendations and outcomes. I would like to thank all the organizers of the forum. Thank you so much.
أيها الإخوة والأخوات.
Ladies and gentlemen, since it is the All General Authority for Statistics, and on behalf of them, we are expand our appreciation and gratitude for your attendance, for your interactive behaviors, and for your collaboration in the Saudi Statistics Forum first editions. We have conducted 2 days that host over than 20 speakers and host over than 600 and plus among 2 days from a different sectors in a scene reflects the high capabilities and innovation that we are going to apply. And among 5 sessions, panel discussions, we have shared with you about certain of informations, since the decisions and the statistics is very important for the decision makers, and how to provide a better language for the policies, and how to discover the digital transformation. And of course, today we would like to say that the General Statistic Authority that's going to continue in their concrete steps to reach also the centers in the 6th centers with the cooperation with the UN in 2026, to cooperation with the groups to raise the capabilities. And the last but not least, we hope for all our guests to have a great visit in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Hopefully this collaboration and this forum that meets your expectations and contributes to enhance the cooperations between entities and countries, to enhance the statistics sectors locally and globally. And on behalf of Saudi General Authority for Statistics in Saudi Arabia, we would like to thank you sincerely. Looking forward to seeing you in other editions of this forum. Thank you so much. Your holy attention much appreciated. Peace and blessings upon you. Thank you so much.
طبعا هذا كان ختام هذا المنتدى.
Of course, we are concluding this forum with the CEO and the General Board of the Saudi Statistic Forum and the General Authority for Statistics in Saudi Arabia. Dr. Saad Dorsari would like to join you and invite you to the lunch. Thank you so much. Goodbye.